Update. We are here every Monday night at 6:30 p.m. Central to get the latest and greatest news of what is going on here with Project Die Hard, and also to meet some guests that join us on a weekly basis here, different people each week, and we get to find out some wonderful things about them and how they are benefiting the mission and what we are all doing together. So I do want to bring in our wonderful founder of Project Die Hard to get our update for this week. So Brian, if you could come on in, this is Brian Gibson.
Hey, good day, team. Oh, yes, it's Monday. What a week it has been. Now, we're here in Paducah, Kentucky, and Sue's way up there in the north. Sister, take this white stuff back because we don't need it here. Okay, I moved south for a reason. But our mission update. Wow, what can I say? We're still plugging along. We had our fellowship breakfast from last week. We had our give back day. We were blessed with some volunteers that came to Forward Operating Base Rush and helped. Bad news is on that. If you saw the post, we found a brand new roof leak. Hey, yeah, we had a bunch of rain before this white stuff and turned the corner into one of the admin areas, or it is an admin area that will be an admin area, and we got Niagara Falls. Lovely. It was so fun. But this is where we keep plugging along. This is where we need your help. Remember, like, follow, share this podcast right now. Tell everybody in the world what we're doing, who we are. I don't know what else to say. We are monitoring the comments. So please, if you have a comment, put it into wherever you're at. It'll get to us. We had some technical difficulties. That's why Sue stepped up real quick. We had a nice little slideshow tonight, but Satan had other words. So yeah, that's about our update. We're still plugging along. You saw the post out there about Dale Fowler, senator from Illinois. Blow his email up. Let him know, hey, we still need his help. All right, with that, let's bring Sue back in, and then we will chat a little bit, and I will introduce our guest. Yes, remember everybody, Sue is an ambassador at Project Die Hard, so every time you look at her, say thank you, God bless, like I do, because we couldn't be doing this without our volunteers, our ambassadors, and our patrons. So, Sue, tonight we have a very good brother of mine, from another mother, mind you. But us veterans, we all hang together. Okay? We bash each other because he served in a different service, and I always say thank you for the ride. But he's never done rides. See, he worked on this little ugly duckling of an airplane that us grounder pounders love. It's called the A-10 Warthog. That is the grunt's dream plane. When we get into trouble, they are the ones.
See, I love hearing all this terminology like this because this is all good, new stuff for me, and I love it. I'm learning so much.
You've seen pictures of the A-10 Warthog, right? That
Oh yeah,
plane that, right? And then it rolls in and goes, brrr. And when that happens, us grunts on the ground go, yay! because that means somebody, a bad guy or somebody that was shooting at us, is no longer. But he transitioned from that to doing something amazing. Uh, I don't know how he went from maintaining a machine that like that to writing books, but I'm not going to get into it. Let's bring in our guest for tonight, Doug Barry of the United States Air Force. Hey, brother, how you doing?
Doing great. Awesome.
So I was telling Sue a little bit about your background, but why don't you tell our followers who you are and what you did in the Army, and then we'll go into what you're doing now.
Sure, I am Doug Barry, author of those children's books. But before all that, I joined the Air Force back in 1985, and I did do 20 years. I was an armament system specialist on the A-10 and the F-16 aircraft. The A-10 being my favorite. I loved working that piece. It does a good job of breaking things. So it was real well. As a matter of fact, I've dug this up real quick. A quick little, that's a 30 millimeter round. It held a bunch of these, and don't worry, it's inert. It's not going to hurt anybody. But so if you ever wanted to see a size of the round, of course, that's the bad boy right there. But yeah, I did 20 years, 4 years at Davis Monthan down in Tucson, Arizona. Absolutely loved it down there. Did a year in South Korea. Did the remaining of my 15 years, believe it or not, at Shaw Air Force Base, which Shaw I came up with, or I don't know if I came up with it or not, but it's an acronym for stay here a while, and I certainly did. From then, moved around a little bit, worked at Ram Automotive doing performance racing clutches and street clutches and that sort of thing, and got fired from there. Did Lowe's for a little bit, department supervisor. Now I'm working back at Shaw Air Force Base, logistics for the lodging department. And yeah, along the way, and I firmly believe God put me on this path of these children's books. And I'm just going to walk down that path as long as I can. I'm just going to keep writing them as long as I can. Right now, they're getting great reviews. Sometimes when you put yourself out there like that, you got to burst through that family and friends bubble, as I like to call it. And it's like, okay, are people just being nice to me, or is my stuff actually that good? Because you've never done it before, you don't really know. So I feel like I finally burst through that bubble, and I've got people purchasing that obviously I don't know who they are. But the cool thing is they're repeat customers. They'll buy one book, and they'll come back, and then they'll buy the second book, and then they start asking when the third book's coming out, which is actually in publishing right now and should be out in the summer. So, and lest I not forget, our newest edition is the stuffed Jasper. He sold out pretty quick. I've got about 10 of them left. I ordered 50, and those things went like hotcakes. It was crazy. So, get more.
Yeah, brother. Well, let's dive into Jasper and Friends a little bit. Okay.
Certainly.
What made you come up with a rabbit?
And this is why I just feel like God laid it in my lap, because it just happened so like there it is kind of thing. When my son was much younger, he caught a baby rabbit in the backyard and brought it in the house. He actually named it Jasper, and it spent the night in the house. And when we let it go the next day, I looked at my wife and I said, that would be a great idea for a kid's book. But the rabbit can't get caught by a child and brought in the house, because if it does go over big, in which it seems like it has, I can't have kids running in their backyard chasing down rabbits trying to catch them. So in the book, he actually sneaks into the house, and the kids enjoy it. But yeah, it was I wrote it. Time goes on, your life happens and stuff stretches out. And it was turned down like 3 or 4 times. I kind of forget now, by publishers. And in 2020, during the COVID thing, I figured, well, let's give it one more shot. Lord knows we're not doing anything else, so we might as well try it again. And lo and behold, Fulton Publishing said, yeah, we'll do it. It's a cute story. So from there, the rest is, as they say, is history. And now I'm on this wild ride, and we're just going to stay on it and keep digging.
Okay.
That's excellent. I love hearing about how stories began. So, and how long ago was it, or when this happened with your son? And then when was it from there that you actually wrote the book? How long of a timeline are we talking about?
Let me see. Golly, he's like 20, and I'm going to get it wrong, but he's about 27 years old now. And I think, if memory serves me correctly, he caught that rabbit when he was about 10. And so then it was another 10 or 15 years before Fulton Publishing came along and said that they would do it. So, I mean, I held on to the story for a while, and I just never really gave up hope. And, you shoot it out there and you get shot down. So you put it on the shelf for a little bit, and it's like, all right, yeah, that didn't work out. And then you do a little bit more research and you find another publishing company, and you're like, well, let me try this one. And you get shot down, and you're like, all right, well, maybe this isn't really going to happen. Let's put it over there for a little bit again. And you just keep taking your shots, as I like to say. Every once in a while, you take a home run swing, and it works out.
Well, that kind of reminds me about Project Die Hard's mission. We bring our brothers and sisters together in that safe, secure spot and lets them know, hey, take that next shot.
Yeah.
Not done. You got to keep going.
Well, yeah, there's no stopping.
So you have Jasper and friends. I'm grateful for you, brother, just because we get to talk every once in a while and we chat, and I'm overjoyed when my brothers and sisters do good in life. But you came on board and are helping Project Die Hard. Tell people how you do that, and then why did you choose to help Project Die Hard?
Sure, certainly. All 10% of my royalties from the sales of my books goes directly to Project Die Hard, which reminds me, I do have another check I need to send you. The fourth quarter is over now, so there's going to be another one coming your way. It started with my books, because when I started selling books, I decided I wanted to start giving back. It's just what you do, I think, when you got something like this going on. The first year I picked one of the big TV sponsored folks who say they help veterans out and stuff, and I don't know. I just I'm glad it went to helping veterans. I mean, don't get me wrong, but I didn't get a warm fuzzy from the company that was running it, so to speak. So I searched out for someone else, and that's why I guess I kind of stumbled across Project Die Hard and Brian, and I'm like, well, there's a good grassroots guy. I know the money's going to go where it's supposed to go, and he's doing good stuff. And quite honestly, our thought processes are a lot the same, because I've always told my wife, it's like, if I had $1 million, it would be cool to build like tiny homes or something around a pond where veterans could just go and decompress and stay like 6 months if they had to get back on their feet and that sort of thing. And that's basically what Brian's doing. And so it's like so much of this has just kind of landed in my lap. I mean, to not see a divine intervention, I mean, would be crazy.
True. So look.
I love that, because there are so many things that, even with our own path, with how when I think back even 10 years ago, where we were and how things have lined up just the way they have at the time, kind of feeling random-ish, how is it that we get in life from point A to point B? And the fact that you guys ended up crossing paths and have so many things in alignment like that, that was meant to be, that is where you have ended up. And because really, how long have you two known each other?
A year?
Maybe.
Okay.
Maybe.
So it hasn't been all that long, but that you guys have that much history and your priorities and where your goals are that similar, to have that kind of a seed that was planted in your mind somewhere along the way that really is that similar. That says a lot to the need of what is there, right?
Yeah, I guess I'm so happy that we got Doug's support, but Doug is busy writing books, right? And he does great work in it. It's excellent. These books are outstanding. You know, he's already sent books. They're in our library at the FOB. And
Nice.
since we're bringing in families with children, hey, yeah, this is a win-win, right? But Doug's Doug's idea of a pond, little cabins, uh, gonna do it, brother. We got the pond. We got the pond. Yeah, we're gonna do it. So see,
Yeah.
this is where I feel God goes, all right, you asked for help. Here you go. And in return, what we do is we share to the world Doug's graciousness and, hey, here's his Amazon link, order more books. Now, we know why we do that, because 10% comes to the mission. We help those who help us.
Yep, looking for that big. Still digging for that corporate buyer. I'm not giving up. I keep plugging that out there on LinkedIn all the time. I know they're out there, and I know I'm going to get up with them at some point in time. It's going to cross the right person's desk, and once that thing starts getting stocked in stores, I think it's just going to take off. And I guess it's a waiting game, but I just keep praying and waiting. That's all you can do.
Well, again, brother, Hope Stock 2024. July. I'm hoping and praying we get the support that we need, the sponsorship, to bring you to Forward Operating Base Rush at Hope Stock with that nice little tent with a bunch of Jaspers and a bunch of books. And you get to spread your wares and Jasper and answer questions. And yeah, maybe that one corporate guy's there.
You never know where they're hiding.
Yeah, again, it's all up to God.
So you mentioned you have more than one book. Can you tell us about what else you have? I'm curious about your other story.
Oh yeah, the first one is The Night I Spent in a People House. That's the one that started it all. And so after I sold, you figure you're going to sell 30 copies, and then next thing you know, you've sold 500 copies, and folks are asking, "What are you going to do next?" And I'm like, I have no idea. I was going to be one and done. I didn't think far enough ahead to do a second book, and it dawned on me. It's like, well, we like going to Myrtle Beach and taking beach vacations, so it made sense. Day at the beach with Jasper and friends, which is right there behind me. That took place. And then, now that one's sold. I won't say it's maybe a couple thousand copies. And people are asking what the third one's going to be. And I certainly, if I didn't think there was going to be a second, I certainly had no idea there was going to be a third. And so I fell back and drew some inspiration from 1979. My dad moved our family to Maryland from New Jersey. Bunch of city folks moving to Maryland to be poultry farmers. So I drew some inspiration from that. And Jasper, Farmer Jasper is born, and him and his buddies go down and they work with their friend Mouse at the farm, feeding the animals and planting the garden and having fun and that sort of thing. And the one that's written, and that's the one that's in publishing. But the one I'm really excited about, excuse me, is the one I'm writing now. It's going to be Jasper's Christmas.
Oh,
In the first half of the book, I'm going to deal with the secular Santa Claus, and Jasper and the critters are going to play in the snow, and they're going to see the decorations, and they're going to talk about, Santa and having fun in the snow, the typical thing. But then at the halfway point of the book or thereabouts, they're going to be wandering around looking at decorations, and they're going to see a manger scene. And they're going to start wondering, what's that all about? And so at that point, a wise old owl that lives in the church steeple is going to fly down, and he's going to tell them the birth of Jesus story. So that's going to be kind of cool. I've got it about half to 3/4 written. I really want to. The easy part's done. The hard part, if I dare call it the hard part, is the Jesus story, and it's hard because I want to do it as perfectly as I can. So I want to make sure I pick my verbiage and all that correctly, as to not to offend anybody. Make sure I get the proper message out. That's it's the most important thing that I've done, I think, to this point with those books, and I just want to make sure it's on point.
Brother, on that, because you all know God saved my life, right? And that we follow this book, right? Tell the story true.
Exactly.
I get advice all the time about, oh, you're offending people because of your faith in God. Well, get over it.
Yeah, right.
Get over it.
Yeah.
I mean, I just like you want that big corporate, right, sponsor. I've been trying for years to reach out to Chick-fil-A to become a Club 22 member, right? Our program where restaurants on the 22nd of the month, people come in and say about Project Die Hard, and then more like what you do comes to us.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Chick-fil-A would be a great fit,
It truly would, yeah.
Yeah. Problem is, no, I don't know. Just God hasn't seen that that's a fit right now. I know it'll come.
Yeah, that other fellow's always fighting against us too, so
Oh, yeah. Yeah, look, he's always on track, on thing.
Yeah. As I like to say, he's been destroying people's lives for thousands of years. What makes you think he's going to stop?
Yeah, true. And I got to remind our brothers and sisters, when you're doing the Lord's work and you're moving forward, be prepared because he's going to, you're doing good when you're going through tribulations. You are.
For sure.
Because he wouldn't bother you if he wasn't threatened. Was that Al?
Yep. Yeah, that's what I'm looking for here. It says he's ready to join, it looks like. So he's trying to get in.
Okay, cool.
So it looks maybe Al will be visiting with us here directly.
Excellent.
Say again. There goes God again. Because
yeah, he sent me the screen thing. I don't know what the holdup is. Why you guys haven't found him in there yet?
Well, while you're working on that, I can just mention that I know you mentioned about Project Die Hard, about Hopestock. Hopestock is coming up in July, July 26th through the 28th. So that is something people can mark on their calendars and get ready for. Make plans to be at Fob Rush in McAnda, Illinois. There are all sorts of ways to help out with that. Being there in person ahead of time, there's all sorts of ways to help out with planning, with all the things that take place to put on a big event like that. There's a lot of ways that the people can help. Whether again, we need help hands-on, actually on site. We need help with planning. We need help with funding. I know you mentioned like even the fundraising with this, sponsorships. We're looking for corporate sponsors to come on in and help out with this as well. And you will see so many wonderful things. Actually, Brian, do you want to touch on that briefly from a couple of years ago when Hopestock took place? Some of the successes that happened from there.
Oh yeah. I cannot stress this enough. Y'all know I don't take a salary, and I really don't. I'll never know how much people give to the mission because that's not my role. My role is to grow this mission and to get it. But my bean counters, as I like to call them, every time we do something, they look at that little those two columns, right? Hopestock 2022. We had great guests, great vendors, great events, great people. But my takeaway on that whole weekend was 4 veterans came to Christ and 2 veteran marriages were saved.
Massive success.
Not according to the bean counters.
It depends on your priorities, and their priority is to count the beans. But there are other priorities that take place at the same time, and they're both important. But oh my goodness, I count what you just said as a massive success.
Well, so do I. Well, our fellowship breakfast we do, right? The first Wednesday of every month in Paducah, Kentucky, and the first Saturday of every month at Forward Operating Base Rush. If one veteran shows up, gets a free meal, and gets to fellowship and talk, and in my eyes, it's 100% success. In the bean counter's eyes, it's not. So you're in meetings sometimes with me, and that question everybody asks, how many veterans do you help? What's my canned answer? Right? I don't know. I got people. Looks like he's in the wrong studio. So send him that link that I sent you, Doug.
Okay.
We'll get him into this studio. Yeah, we had that little glitch. But what was I saying? Oh, yeah.
As far as how many veterans are helped, and really, I don't think there's ever going to be a way to know. Until we personally get a chance to meet our maker, then maybe we'll get that insight of really who is all touched by this, because there's so many people that are working towards this mission with the mission, and how will we ever know? I mean, we obviously know, like the success story that you just were sharing, as far as people who have come to Christ and the marriages that were saved just from that one event that took place. There's people being touched in many, many different ways. Even those individuals, how many people have they touched, whether they're veterans or not? Really, there are so many lives that are being affected by this. Obviously, veterans are the mission here, but there are so many lives being touched and feeling the benefit of what's happening here.
Again, the opening of Bob Rush, you saw Jason Vaughn. He was on the videos and everything. Again, success. On the give back day, he came by and we talked a little bit.
I think he's
his house that he got on his own He's putting in the new floor in the kitchen this week, right? So he's moving quite along. He's over 2 years clean and sober. He's got a job. Proof of concept is there. We know our facilities will work. We know. But yeah, I don't have a couple $1 million sitting in the bank. This is why I call on everybody. Help any way you can. Yeah. Go become that $22 a month patron. Share the mission. Tell somebody about us. I had a meeting this morning and this person goes, "Oh, I know a couple of multimillionaires." I said, "Great. Do they know about us?" And went, "No." And I said, "We've known each other for what, 8, 9 months? How come? How come they don't know about us?"
Spread the word.
Yeah. Oh, it didn't really cross my mind.
Well, and you're active on Facebook here with giving updates and lots of things going on with Project Die Hard. So if people are not connected on Facebook yet, that is an easy way to know what's going on, is just head there and be friends or follow along with Project Die Hard. Easy to look it up. Project Die Hard in the little search bar. You're gonna find it there, and please hop on board on that. And actually on YouTube as well. If you want to see these shows, the podcasts that are going on like this every Monday night, go to YouTube and search for Project Die Hard. Subscribe. Then you will get those notices when we are on live, and then you'll also be able to find us a lot easier. Go ahead and subscribe, and you'll look at what we're doing and get these updates and be able to follow along with what's all happening. And it's worth it. It's so worth it to be able to make a difference with other people like this.
Oh, yeah. All right, Doug, you guys chat a little bit because I'm trying to look up. I know you sent me his contact info, but where did I do it?
Talk amongst yourselves, will you?
Yeah. The technology piece is always the biggest hurdle, isn't it?
Again, I have a great team behind me, but I'm that fixer dude. We're having a problem. I have the fix. I just got to make sure it works.
Well, and while you're doing that, actually, Doug, question for you.
Certainly.
You've got your books available. So if somebody's looking to find out more information, if they want to purchase one of your books or your stuffed animal, how would they do that? Where do they go?
My books are literally on, I think, every .com out there. They are on Barnes & Noble, Books A Million, Amazon, Target, Walmart.com, thriftbook.com. It's incredible the way it's been disseminated amongst the .coms. I do have one of the largest distributors for the book, one of the largest book distributors, Ingram Content. So if there are any corporate buyers out there that are looking to buy quantities, just go to Ingram Content. And odds are, if you've already stocked books in your store, you already have an Ingram Content account. So it's just makes it even easier. Just go on your Ingram Content account and order up my books.
Excellent.
The Stuffed Jasper is brand new, and we're still trying to figure out the ins and outs on that. Right now, just contact me on any one of my social media platforms. I mean, I'm on Instagram at Warthog462 and Twitter as well, the same at Warthog462. Or email me. My email address is on my Facebook account. And I also have a webpage, www.jasper-friends. There's contact information there. And just hit me up on one of those and we'll get you a Jasper. They're $25 plus shipping. If you don't mind me throwing the cost out there, that's what they are. That Jasper stuffed toy was about 2 years in the making. I was trying to get the price point because let's face it, I'm not Walt Disney and Jasper's not Mickey Mouse, and nobody's going to drop $50 on a Jasper. So it took me a while to hit the price point to where I thought it was reasonable. But maybe one day it's equivalent to Walt Disney. It's equivalent to Mickey
Amazing.
Mouse. And
we knew him when he was first born, when he was just a little rabbit, just first starting out.
Well, again, Doug, you said before the show you're sending one Jasper. Send two, because we're going to vacuum seal one, because we're not going anywhere, right?
Exactly.
So, when we open that last fob in that last state, and people go, "I knew Project Die Hard win," we can say, "Look what we got."
Yeah. Yeah, he'll be in the mail hopefully tomorrow for you guys. So
Cool.
got one headed to you.
All right. Hey, your better half is waiting backstage.
He found his way.
Now, this is another ambassador. When it comes to Al, I tried to send him a friend request. It said, "You don't know this guy," but I did send him a message. We'll hope and pray that he follows that link I sent and we get him on here.
Hopefully.
All right, Kurt. What you been up to? Tell everybody. This is the weekly update.
Yeah, so I just came from a Happy Neighborhood Project posting party, so got some of the co-hosts there tuned in that we're doing this live stream right now. So we'll see if we got any of them watching this PDH Mission Monday, and also we're kind of doing some things with the company No Card to kind of have something that we can share what's going on with Project Die Hard, including this show. So yeah, just really trying to wear that marketing hat, PR, public relations hat as ambassador, and really make sure that we're really canvassing people and making sure that in the Roscoff lives here that everybody we knows that we know knows that we are ambassadors for Project Die Hard, what the mission here is all about, and know that our ask is to say, hey, support the mission if you can, please.
Yeah, again, to all the people that are visiting Kurt's page from Happy Neighborhood, thank you. God bless for coming over. If you have any questions about the mission, you can reach out to Sue or Kurt. They are ambassadors. They know the ins and the outs, what we're doing, how you can help. On my behalf, I say thank you and God bless for anything you can do for the mission. Kurt told me about these posting parties. If you got a person out there that wants to do one, we do this little give back day on the second Saturday of every month. If you could give us that time to do a posting party while we do our give back day, and we can pop in there live and show our volunteers working, that would be a plus. Again, you can reach out to Sue or Kurt. They can point you in the right direction. Oh, wait. We're on a podcast, right? They lead the podcast team. Wow. Amazing thing. See?
Well, and actually, for those that don't know what a posting party is, Kurt, can you just describe a little bit what happens at a posting party? What is that? What does that mean?
Yeah, well, you can think of it as a mutual aid event where, like with Project Die Hard here, we host the posting party to make sure that all attendees leave, with increased awareness of what's going on here with the updates. If they're not aware of this podcast yet, that they can know that. And then you're putting links in the chat to actual posts on social media. We lead with LinkedIn, but if attendees want to say, I have got a great Facebook post, we can do that, which we do have a great Facebook page right here at Project Die Hard, and we have a Facebook page here for the show. But then guests are also, if they're going out there and they're committed to, other endeavors and whatever, or they got other posts that they want to share, they can put the link in. And what we do is that when we see each other's posts, so say a dozen people are on the posting party, as an attendee, you'll see 11 other links, in that chat. So then what we do is we try to go to all those other links and give it a reaction, to that post. And then we do a comment, and we go through that. It's great to do a hyperlinking, to do like at Brian Gibson, so that it notifies him, or at Sue Roska, to say, hey, Sue, I'm commenting on your post, that she might want to come back and keep the conversation going, in the post.
Project Die Hard. That's
at Project Die Hard.
That's the app. Folks, that's the app. At Project Die Hard.
Keep that moving.
Keep that moving. That gives me an idea. I'm going to have to go and figure out how to do the at Bob Rush. We got to figure out how to do that.
We can make that happen. Yeah, and that's how it gets out there further. So if you keep tagging people on posts, when people go to the Facebook page for Project Die Hard or for the LinkedIn page, and you are seeing anything posted there at all, comment on it. That's how more people will see it. If you want to do something so simple that will benefit Project Die Hard, make a comment on there. And in that comment, actually tag Project Die Hard right in the comment. I mean, it was one of those things that when I first heard that, I'm like, wait, you want to take me and my post? Oh, yes. Actually, that is what keeps it going viral enough so that you can actually have it go out not only to your contacts because you made a comment, it'll bounce back again and it'll be back on Project Die Hard's page again. And keep it going. The more comments that happen on there, the more people that see it. And then isn't that part of what we're trying to do, is get the word out and have more people have their eyeballs on Project Die Hard and can share in the mission. That is such a simple way to help.
Again, Doug here, he does that all the time. He shares out at Project Die Hard.
It's supposed to be a business site, and nobody shares anything on there. Nobody comments on anything there. I've so many times I feel like I'm just spinning my wheels. It's like people that have like 300,000 connections. It's like, I just need you to share one of my posts. That's all it takes. You can look at it, but if you don't share it, it does me no good at all. It's like just.
Brother, I feel it, right? But again, we keep going.
Exactly.
We keep going, okay? Because he says, don't give up, don't quit, keep going. That's the key here.
Not much quitting us military guys either. I mean, we find a brick wall and we find a way to break through it and just keep digging. I mean, that's just how we're trained.
Again, this is, that one wall in the kitchen that the architect says it's a load-bearing wall. It can't be moved. Don't ever tell me can't.
Exactly.
There's always a way. Some ways it might be easier than others, but there's always a way.
He may not want to do it, but there's a way.
Look, I got two of my ambassadors here. When we have those national ambassador meetings, have you ever heard say, "Oh, nah, just give up on that"?
No, that's not how this works.
It's not how it works. You can't quit. You cannot quit. This relates to the mission, bringing hope to veterans to end that stigma of veteran suicide. Brothers and sisters, aren't you hearing reaffirming thing here to this whole group of people: don't quit.
No,
Don't. It's not worth it.
no. If I can share the rough point in my life with you guys, I'll try to do it without getting emotional. But when I was in South Korea, my life was going to crap, and I tried to find my answers in the bottom of a beer bottle. They weren't there. I still looked there, and my buddy, who was a Christian, when he saw me going through all that, and I was basically losing everything. My wife was going to divorce me, all that stuff. And he said, "Come on, put your best clothes on. We're taking you to church down in South Korea." We went to a mission there called the Haven. I just don't remembered it. And so I went there, gave my life over to God. Told him, I know I needed help to quit drinking. I told him, I said, I don't know if I can be bold as some folks and tell you I'm never going to drink again, but I will tell you I will be sober. I'm not going to get blind, stupid, drunk in public kind of, but if I can't sit here and tell you I'm never going to have a glass of wine or one beer. But with your help, I can stop doing that other stupid stuff. And everything started going great. Started winning load competitions. We the sports teams I was on started winning base championships. I mean, everything like a light just started clicking. And one of my buddies was getting ready to leave, and this is kind of a funny part of the story. He was getting ready to leave South Korea, and he's like, "Come on, Doug, go out drinking with me. I'll never see you again. Just come on out and go drink." And I stumbled, and I'm like, "All right, let's go. I'll go out drinking with you, but I'm not, I don't drink much." And then when lo and behold, I did, and I got torn up again. And somebody found me wandering around the base, and they're like, "Where are you going, Doug?" And I'm like, "I'm going back to my dorm." And they're like, "Dude, you're nowhere near your dorm." So they got me home, and I woke up the next morning, and my leg was just killing me. And I limped around for like a week. And when I woke up and I felt that pain, I just looked up and I said, "I hear you, God." It's like when he wants to get your attention, he'll snatch a knot in your butt. I'll tell you that right now. And after that point in my life, it's like I got back on the straight and narrow path, and I've been continuing ever since. But it's like, it's painful, and it can hurt at times if you ask him to help you do something and basically promise him that you're going to turn your life around and you don't do it. He may be like, "Hey, remember this? You promised me that you were going to do this, and you didn't."
Oh, yeah. Again, brother, I can sit here all night and tell you, yeah. Well, you know my story. Look, I'm a recovering alcoholic. Everybody goes, "Oh, so you recovered?" No, I'm a recovering.
Yeah, well, it's a constant fight. I still have like a glass of wine and stuff every once in a while, but it's like, you're.
And praise be to God, brother, you got that will. I don't touch the stuff. You know why? Because after one, my math skills go to hell. Okay? I don't touch it. I'm not against it. I'll never go, "Doug, you're a sinner because you have a glass of wine." I won't do it. But I'm adamant on Project Die Hard's facilities and sponsored events. There's no drugs, no alcohol.
Yeah.
And it's not that I'm against it. You may have the willpower.
So many don't. Yeah.
I don't. So the easiest way to negate that is we just don't allow it.
Yeah, and for the longest time, that's the way I was. I mean, I stopped drinking beer in 1979, and I really didn't drink anything until probably I got out of the Air Force in 2006. And in my retirement, then I was like, well, I think I could have a glass of wine every once in a while. I don't think that's going to hurt anything. And it's kind of had one, and then, it's like, yeah, I think I'm good as long as I don't revert that. So it's like, I'm just, that's it. Glass of wine every once in a while, and life is good.
Yeah. Well, that brings up, we're to that point of that nice little round table question, right? Why do you think the leading cause or contributing factor thereof to veteran suicide involve alcohol? So there's the question.
That stuff can destroy your life. I mean,
You're our guest, so
yeah.
That's the question. Respond to our followers.
Yeah, it's what worked for me. It's like, get God in your life. You got to turn your life around. You just can't sit there going down the same path. There's got to be a little switch in your brain that says, "Hey, enough's enough."
Okay, solid point. Solid point.
Yeah, you just got to. There is a lot of willpower. When I first started weaning myself off alcohol, it was coffee. I drank coffee like crazy, almost like whenever I felt like having a drink, I'd get a cup of coffee. And I guess you can almost say that truly became my lifer juice, as I like to joke about in the military. It's lifer juice, and it's like I think it truly was for me. I won't say it saved me, but I mean it gave me that crutch I needed to help me along.
Okay. Well, again, that reminds me. Third Day Coffee Seguin. When you go to Third Day Coffee Seguin, you can find them on our social media, all that stuff, and you order coffee. Come on, guys. Best cup of coffee this side of heaven, right? For every 3 bags that are ordered when you say Project Die Hard, PDH 22, Project Die Hard gets a bag of coffee. Comes right to our facilities. Yeah. See? Win-win.
What was that company name again?
Third Day Coffee
Third
Seguin.
Day Coffee. That makes sense.
Out of Seguin, Texas. Great brother. He is going through a time right now, and we're in prayer. We need to lift him up in prayer. He actually lost his son about 4 weeks ago to the demon. So, yeah, we need all of our followers to lift him up in prayer, give him strength. He's doing well because of his faith, but prayer can't. Pray, because we know it works. We wouldn't be here if it wasn't for our ministry partners. Okay, now that being said, now we will go to ladies first. Sue, what's your answer to that question?
So when I think about stories I've heard from others and how alcohol has been a negative factor, what does it do to us? It actually it kind of is a depressant, right? It makes us numb, so we're not feeling what we don't want to be feeling. That I think is part of how that ends up being a big factor along the way for a lot of people. That it's there, and you can, if you're feeling pain in some fashion, whatever it is, whether it's a physical pain, a mental pain, whatever it is that you don't want to deal with, and you introduce alcohol to that, and it can be that numbing piece so that you can forget about all the things that are bothering you, whatever that is. I think that's a factor, at least for, maybe not for everybody, but that is something that is there, and it's a kind of a shield in a way, I guess, where it takes away and distracts you from what the real problems may be. And that's coming from somebody who, I'm just, like I say, hearing stories from others and thinking that is it plays a role for some at least.
Well, I can see that coming from the medical background, right? Alcohol is a depressant, an inhibitor. You don't drink and drive, right? But people still do because those not so good ideas are turned into a good idea. That's what led to a lot of my problems. My stupid ideas turned into good ideas when I drank, and that led into problems. But
it hurts the judgment a little.
yeah, go figure. That's just like how Project Die Hard was born. Everybody knows the story, but when Johansson goes, "Hey Doc, if I hang out here for about a month, we can get this motorcycle built," and I was like, "Brother, you got to go ask my wife because the last time we hung out together, there was bail money involved." So yeah. All right, Kurt, your answer to the question.
Yeah, I think I'm just building upon what I've been hearing in terms of, that it's, a darkness, a despair, demons, it's, we're reaching for the substance because, we need to, as they say, self-medicate, with it and whatever. And so the service here is to find that more, positive, that more productive, and something that's going to be more relevant, something that will really solve the problem. Because if you keep reaching for that bottle, and you keep doing that over and over again, I mean, that's affecting your health. It's doing a lot of things, and there's a lot of cultural aspects behind it. I mean, like when we celebrate our weddings or so forth, people get together, and it's kind of, it drives like an association, like it's a happy juice or something, to grab for that bottle. So to me, the wheelhouse we're in is like when you talk about forward operating base rush, and it's out in the wilderness, to be able to be by that pond, and to go out, to me, that's what the business model is here, is to create that replacement and that intervention, and to deal with that pain, that suffering that people are trying to wrestle with, and they're losing the battle to it. And that's where the lending an ear, being available, checking your vet, that this is an action-based conversation, that if we just listen to this to be insightful to what people are dealing with, that escalation of the issue is just going to keep going. This is an all hands on deck initiative, and everybody listening and watching this needs to be involved, or we as a society, we as a nation, we as Americans, we are defeated if we don't get in there and take care of our vets, be available, and to say, hey, how are you?
Good solid point. Now, see, that reminds me of this past week. I normally don't put this stuff out, but see, now this point becomes relative of what earlier in the broadcast we talked about people wanting to know how many veterans we help. Well, how about this? I spent 2 days dealing with the family of a veteran who's at their last straw. We cannot help those who do not want help. Okay? We have a resource partner, Greater Vet. We're working on some marketing for them, but their part of the mission that they help us with is if there's a veteran that needs rehab, they will find it free of charge to the veteran. That's what they do. But in the same retrospect, if the veteran doesn't want to go to rehab, there's nothing nobody can do. Now, is that veteran on our prayer list? Of course. Has it been sent out to all of our minister partners to fill on their prayer list? Of course. And when that veteran's ready for the help, we want to be there for them. We work with the blessings we receive. So please consider donating, sharing, telling. That's how this mission is going to grow. With that, we are at the end of our allotted hour. I think this went really, really good. I'm sorry Al didn't make it.
We'll keep working on them, right?
Again, that's it. We do this every Monday. I know Kurt is working on somebody for the 22nd. I know that. Don't not give it. Don't tell anybody, Kurt. I'm watching the email traffic. I can't wait for that guy to be on the show. I'm just saying. So if you want to know what's going on, follow us on YouTube. Like, follow, share. And next week, we're going to have another guest. All right, y'all. Thank you. God bless for tuning in. Everybody wave bye-bye, and then we'll leave.
Awesome.
See ya.
Thanks so much,